Hey there, money collectors! Welcome to another video here on Variety Errors. We search through pocket change to see if we can find profit. In this case, I wanted to try something a little bit different. And so I just went and got a bunch of 20s out of the ATM, figured we could look through them. That way we keep all the denominations the same, kind of focus on one thing. See if we find anything worth some value, or at least something fun to collect. So 2013 series $20 bill. This will probably be the most common series out of these, I would assume. I haven't looked through them. I literally just got them from the ATM like 30 minutes ago. So let's get right to it. Now right off tops, I do see something, obvious. Let's talk about the obvious. Now this right here is called a counter stamp, or what's left of one. It's very common. I can tell from the way that it's rectangular. It's most common bank counter stamp. The strap for 20s would sit right here, so somebody just kind of willy-nilly stamped it, and that's why that mark is there. So I get that question asked a lot. That's not collectible unless you just collect stamp bills, but in this case, it's not even a full stamp, so I wouldn't call home about it. Now, off tops, what I was going to mention a minute ago is I do notice a little bit of over-inking on this 9 right here. It's just got a little dovetail there at the top. But it's not dramatic enough for me to collect. It's just something to keep an eye out for. You can find stuff that has a heavier over ink than that, and then I'd hold on to it. But don't be mistaken with the ones that are over inked on the third digit. That's super duper common, especially on $1 and $2 notes from 2013 and 2017. Back of the 20. Ooh, schmudgel. Big old bogey sticking there. That's nice. No, it looks like a broken pen or something on it, or whatever. Something funky got stuck onto that. So whatever. Another thing that I want to point out as well, and then I won't touch on it as much, is I do get questions about this excess of ink that's right here. It is not excessive ink, really. It's in fact the serial number from the front. So it's just pressed through, same as you'd get up in this corner here at the top. So that's another thing. We'll keep on moving on. Next bill in the stack. Nothing in the serial number. 2013 also, so nothing to really talk on there. Like I said, that's going to be a really common one we're going to come across. I've had a couple questions about the blue ink here on the 0 of the 20 bleeding through right here. That's just part of the design, so it's not something to get all excited about. It's not super collectible. Aside from that, this is a really clean $20 note. Now up here in these 20s here, there is a little constellation thing they call Urion, which is spelled E-U-R-I-O-N, and that's an anti-counterfeiting measure, so it sits about right here. Sometimes you get blurring and stuff, but it's actually just a way that these numbers, these little mini 20s are conglomerated together. Next note, another 2013 note. I'll kind of shoot through these quicker since they are all 20s. We got some damage down here on the bottom. We got a little bit of dots of ink kind of strewn across here, as you can see. But nothing in the serial number. We got a little bit of smudging going on right below this this gold 20 here at the bottom right-hand side. Nothing so far. Throw the bill around a bit. Nothing jumping out on the back. Other things you can look for is some blurring that's right around these doors and windows in the front of the White House depiction on the back of the $20 note. So that's one thing. I saw a really funny video not long ago where a guy simply asked one question to people and they could have won like $1,000 iPhone, which was who is on the $20 note. And guesses were anywhere from Washington to people that are like celebrities. So it's kind of sad to say that a lot of the younger generation especially don't know who's even depicted on our bills, and that's probably reminiscent of the American education system, but I just thought that video was funny, so if you've seen that, let me know what you thought of that video in the comments below. Next 20. A little bit of repetition of 8s, but nothing to jump for joy about. Another thing is, as you can see, that same smudgel here, that extra ink over here, not as prevalent on this bill, but from that serial number. Same deal goes for this top right corner where I was mentioning that that constellation. Close to a date note, if we would have had 08/22/1845, I would have enjoyed that a little bit more. But nothing here in the serial number. It's a 2006, so it is an older $20 note. The rest of them have been 2013. The only difference here is going to be the signatures on the bill. So nothing to talk about there. On the back of the note, nothing really jumping out on me. Same deal here, just to press through the serial number. And a little bit of stray inking here, but it's most likely from when the bills were wet after production and when they were stacked together. So a little extra ink like that is just going to be from that, not an error or an over ink or a misprinting of any sort. 2013, so back to the ones we were looking at previously. Like I said, no difference graphically. And nothing there. Kind of go a little quicker. Fold it over, nothing jumping out on the front here. Little lack of ink on this first three, but not enough to for me to hold on to. I have come across a couple of really nice bookend, newer, so 2000s and newer, $20 notes. So that's something to look for as well. Bookends are going to end with the same digits on either end of the serial number. Nothing there. Nothing there. Here we go, 2009. So we got a little variation, at least in the 20s that we're looking through. Once again, only difference is the signatures here for the Secretary of Treasury and Treasury of the U.S. Little lack of ink in the serial number. Let me get this to focus. There we go. Now, I would assume that from the way this is semi-rubbed off, this is kind of rubbed off. You're missing part of the signature a little bit here and here, as you can notice. There we go. That's probably just from age. The thing has been in circulation for a bit. It's hitting the end of its life for a $20 note, if not surpassed it already. So that's something to consider when you're looking at a bill. If you're interested in the actual projected lifespan of bills, so anything from $1s through $100 notes for modern U.S. currency, go to VarietyErrors.com. We have a whole rundown on basically everything with the notes. So you can check that out on VarietyErrors.com. At the bottom there is a table of contents you can click on. 2013 note. Slightly, there we go. Now, nothing jumping out on here either, so we'll keep on going. Now, this right here, this blue mark, a lot of the time when people receive money, they run a marker or a counterfeit pen down the side of the whole stack. I hate when they do that, but that is something that businesses primarily are going to do, just to show that they received the money, they've checked it, and then from that point, a vault clerk or whatever manager can just kind of delve out the money to cashiers and so on and so forth. But I hate when they do that. This is just a little mark. You can tell it's probably like a coffee stain or something like that, because it is not a color that is on the bill. Really beat up on the back, folded up, creased up. Keep on moving. So nothing great. We haven't come across anything I'm going to hold on to so far. Hopefully you're learning a little bit of info, at least, as you hear me yabber on about $20 notes. But I like to give as much information as I can. Worst case, you watch 30 seconds of the video, you get what you needed, and you move on. Then you come back for another video, you know? 2013, all these are in great shape though, with the exception of a couple. I've not seen any broken ladders or ladder notes or anything that's really great repetition in the serial numbers so far. But as you know, if you watch my channel, you don't always come across stuff in bill searches. A lot of you say that too, which is a good point. You know, you can look through thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of notes and come across absolutely nothing. It's more prevalent you're going to come across stuff in ones, I think, personally, or at least I do. But not every bill search I come across stuff, and if I do, it might be minor. So just kind of keep on trudging along. Don't think you're going to go get 20s like this and come across 50 collectible bills. And then, you know, what's the fun of the hobby at that point? It'd be like anything collectible. They wouldn't be worth much either. Now, this is kind of a fun one. I'm not going to hold on to it, but it is a fun one, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and kind of broken up. The cool thing about this one, I wish that there wasn't a 5 and it was just 1, 2s, and 3s, and they were blocked. That would be really cool. But that's neat. At least they're in semi-order, quasi-order, but something to look out for. This is very folded up. Somebody folded the whole corner of this at one point. So if it were collectible, that would detract from value. Next note, another $20 note, as you know. I don't know why I keep saying that, like it's going to change denomination between, you know, just magically. But anyway, nothing on the front there. And nothing on the back. Getting down there to the last few notes, so it is not too crazy of a bill search this time around. I just wanted to show an idea of how you can just pick up 20s and look through them, maybe come across something. And here we go. So a little something something. This one's kind of damaged up here, which is a bummer. But I love star notes. Star notes are great. They're replacement notes. Something happened to the original 20, this 20, well, this 20's counterpart. And then they replaced it before sending it out into circulation, and they showed that by dropping the letter on the last letter on the serial number and replacing it with a star. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to hold on to that because I love star notes. So our one little find, and last but not least, a beat up 2009 bill. Now down here, a little bit of a weird ink smear, which you can't see because my camera's not focused. There we go. So a weird kind of ink smear right here. But it's very hard to tell because you can see there's a lot of other stuff going on here. I would assume that it's just from damage. Close to a date note, double date note, but nothing crazy. Lots of 6s in here, but they're not clumped together, so nothing I want to hold on to. So what are we holding on to in this bill search? Something very small, but a star note replacement note on this series 2013 $20 Federal Reserve note. So nothing crazy. As you know, I love star notes, like I said, so I'll hold on to it. But nothing I would think is worth a ton of value or anything over face value. It's more collectible. So hopefully you've come across way more valuable of things in your searches. Let me know about your recent bill and coin searches in the comments below. And like always, much love, and I will see you in the next video.